another reason I'm really excited for spring and early summer is where I'm from in Illinois. Fishing is kind of impossible to do until it's like late April, May-ish. The fish just really get frigid up there in the cold. And you see where I'm at now in the south in Mississippi, the weather gets warm kind of quickly. The winter's a little later in the year, late January, February for the most part, but the heat kind of picks back up really quick. And the fishing, saltwater and freshwater, picks up earlier in the year. It's the length of it is a lot longer. So I'm traditionally a bass fisherman, obviously, because I'm from Illinois, and I have yet to catch like a decent sized bass in Mississippi. I think I caught like a little, like half a pounder one time, but since I've been here for a while, I've kind of established some places and some spots that I could go to and go catch some decent sized fish. And since I'm in Mississippi, they have a lot. The fish are just bigger here, like it is in Alabama and Florida, since they eat a lot more for longer periods of time. You can go out and catch catfish more often than not. Just some bigger stuff. Because in Illinois, it's just hard to come by like decent sized catfish unless you're in a really, really good river, which we have those where I'm from, but you gotta you can't really do it from the bank. You gotta have a boat or a kayak or something, and it's just a lot harder to find those trophy fish where I'm from. So I'm really excited to be able to do that in Mississippi for this coming spring. Gonna get some good footage, some bass fishing. And I will probably still be using my saltwater reels because I absolutely love these things. I keep running into some weeds or rocks, it seems. Yeah, I don't think the water is that deep over here. I'll tell you what, these glasses I bought, they are awesome. It's blocking the wind really good, and I don't have to really squint to see where I'm at. That sun reflects off the water really, really strong. I didn't really do a whole ton of freshwater fishing when I was in Illinois the first half of the year. I tried to get into river fishing a little bit with a cousin of mine. We tried to really figure it out, and we were trying to wade fish in rivers and stuff and catching smallmouth. That was probably the most fun I've had fishing in a while. We went out onto one of the bigger rivers that was near us. I mean, and it stretches between Illinois and Indiana. We just met up in the middle, and we got our waders, and we both got on Amazon. And we walked out for it's a pretty wide river. We were stepping on rocks and falling over, but we were having a good time. I'll admit, he was doing a lot better than me. He was doing a lot better than I should have been doing. He was catching smallmouth here, left and right. I was struggling a little bit, but I was trying to use you see, I think my problem was I was using the lures I was using were too big. He was just using a little tiny 1/8 ounce rooster tail. I was trying to use like crankbaits and stuff, trying to get some bigger fish, but he was catching way more fish than I was. So, you know, they say that, you know, elephants eat peanuts. So you don't always have to have the biggest lure to catch the biggest fish. You know, some people catch big muskie and pike on, you know, little tiny paddle tails and swim baits and stuff. But yeah, he was using a 1/8 ounce rooster tail on this 10-pound braided line that we had, which it was definitely not the right setup we had, but he was still catching fish. Some decent sized smallmouth, some little ones too. The one thing that almost happened when we were out fishing was we were out there for a while, and it was the end of the day. This was actually the second time we came back to that spot in the river. I hadn't caught too many fish up until that point. I had only caught like 2 little smallmouth. He had caught like 8 or 9 that day. And I was making a couple final casts. I had the little rooster tail on. I switched to what he was using, and I was just reeling, you know, as they do in the river. You just kind of have a steady retrieve. And I'm pretty sure, or we're both pretty sure, because we saw it at our feet, I hooked a carp. I don't know what kind of carp it was. I'm tempted to say it was a common carp, but that thing was easily like 4 or 5 pounds. And I have never caught a carp before, but being the professional fishermen that we are, we didn't have a net that day. We were kind of just hoping for the best. And I reeled it up, not knowing it was a carp. I reeled it near our feet because he was standing right next to me, and it was pressed against his legs. And I told him to grab it, and since it was so close, the hook fell out, and the carp swam away. That was a big loss for me that day. So ever since that moment, in the summer, I have brought a net with me everywhere I go. I do not go fishing without a net anymore. Yeah, I even brought it out here today. I'm not really expecting to catch anything right now, honestly. I'm just kind of fishing the fish, but I do not go fishing without a net anymore. Even though where I'm at right now, a net would probably be useless on this pier. But so yeah, bring a net, use the correct gear, for sure. And yeah, bring a net. I could have had a nice picture with a 5-pound carp. Yeah, I didn't realize it was such a big fish until we reeled it close, because we were in the river and I'm pretty sure it was swimming towards us. So I thought it was just a little tiny smallmouth. It was swimming really close, and when it was a couple feet away, I realized it was a carp or something. So, bring a net. Fishing 101. Looks like somebody's burning something way over there. Some big black smoke off in the distance. But I'm probably gonna give it about a couple more casts and then probably call it for the day. My fingers are getting cold.